Well, good morning, everyone. Ladies and gentlemen, respected dignitaries, and my fellow advocate of change. I am invited here today to speak before you as an educator and as a social worker. I believe in the transformative power of education and how education impacts the life of the students and the community at large. Here I would like to share a story, a real life story, which happened in our institution. It's about a girl called Diya. Diya was born in a small village about 10 kilometers from Belgavi, in a family of farmers, a poor farmer. I would consider her to be lucky because the parents gave birth to her in spite of being a girl child. The challenges to the girl child begins there. The parents do not want the girl child to be there. We can see at the statistics of the national level where the gender ratio in the past census was heavily tilted towards male child. For every 850 female child, there were 1,000 male children. So she was lucky on the first count. Later on, she started her education in a village school in the primary level. Again there, she was lucky because her village had a primary school there. Many villages in our country today do not have the primary schools in that village. They have to travel a large distance to go for a primary school. She completed her primary school. Later on, she moved towards Belgaum for our high school because the village did not have a high school there. She had to travel 10 kilometers every day. Again, she was lucky there because her village was well connected with the public transport. Very few villages in our country are having good public transport to take them to their schools and colleges. You all must have suffered that. The next challenge came when she enrolled herself for the 10+2, where she, coming from a poor family, it was difficult for her to finance her education. The institution came forward and supported her with scholarship. With the help of the scholarship, the girl child could complete her 10+2 successfully. The next challenge came when she enrolled herself for a professional course in our institution. And as the demand meets for the BCA program, and many of you are wearing a blazer and a trouser, and this is a standard dress protocol for these professional colleges. When she wore a trouser and a blazer to her village, the entire village lads started making fun of her. This was a deterrent for her, and she came back the next day and pleaded that she should be withdrawn from the course. This is the social condition of our villages there, where a girl wants to move forward, and probably she was the first girl in the village to wear a trouser and a blazer there. The teachers and the mentor advised her that you ignore their catcalls and just focus on your work, and one day will come when you will be laughing at those people. And that day came very soon. She completed her BCA. Unfortunately, that particular year the placements were poor, so she had to continue her higher education in our own institution in the MBA program. When she joined the MBA program, the issue was related to finance because MBA programs are quite expensive compared to the degree programs. And that is where the government support came into picture. So this is where I would say that fortune favors the brave. She was brave enough, took the challenge, took the government benefits of scholarships, as well as she went for a bank loan from a nationalized bank, which could sustain her education. She completed her MBA, but one instance which happened in her MBA I would like to highlight, the different causes for withdrawing from education. She suffered a gynecological problem during her MBA program, and she was so timid that she did not express that particular problem to her family members or to her faculties. And she was absent for a prolonged period of time. It was only for the intervention of the teachers there that she could be called back to the institution and the problem was diagnosed. She was given good treatment from gynecologist and the gynecological problem was sorted out. She again came back to the institution. She completed her MBA. Once when she completed the MBA, she was very lucky to be placed in a foreign bank. She got an opportunity to work in Deutsche Bank at Bangalore in their international back-end operations with a salary, starting salary of more than 40,000 rupees. You can imagine a girl from a small village going up to Bangalore and serving an international bank like Deutsche Bank. This is not the end of the story here. You look at the discrimination what the girl child goes through. Her sibling, a male, was pampered to such an extent by the parents and by the society that fellow could not even complete his PUC. He is presently working as a mechanic in some automobile dealer. You compare here why there is discrimination between the genders in our society. So this is the role of the education institutions which will come, which has to overcome this gender discrimination which is there. So as and when later on, when she completed about 2 or 3 years in the bank, her parents thought about marrying her. Or before that, when she was employed there, the parents felt jittery about her safety. They came to us saying that, sir, we want to withdraw our child from there because we are not comfortable about her safety. So we requested the parents to go to Bangalore and see her workplace. The parents were stunned. She was staying in an air-conditioned accommodation. She was moving in an air-conditioned cab. She was working in an air-conditioned infrastructure where more than 15,000 employees of Deutsche Bank were working in that environment. The parents were impressed and came back and allowed the child to work there in that organization. Her marriage came, and unfortunately again here a separate type of challenges started coming to her. Her husband was getting half of her salary, and thereby the difference of opinion started coming up, and the husband wanted to grab the entire financial aspects of her totally. There again the girl got frustrated and came to us, to the mentors, where we mentored both, we counseled both the partners, and we could work out an arrangement whereby financial independence was given to that girl child. She continued in the Deutsche Bank. She's even functioning today in the Deutsche Bank at a very high level, managing the foreign exchange, one of the foreign exchange divisions, especially with respect to the Malaysian country. So you can imagine the journey of this girl going from, if the mentors were not there, if the teachers and the staff members who were there not have intervened at different levels, whether it was her family issue, whether it was a societal issue, whether it was her financial issue, I am sure she would not have been able to reach where she has reached today. So what I would like to stress here is that we are all from education institutions. Many of us are managing big education institutions. What we look at education, that only imparting, teaching, learning, evaluation. There is much to teaching, learning, evaluation in the education institutions, and only those institutions will survive which is going to address to the events which are beyond the teaching, learning, evaluation process. To share certain statistics in front of you, the gross enrollment ratio of our country for higher education, there is not much of difference between the male and the female. For every one male who is going in for the higher education institution, 1.05 females are going in for higher education institution. But the irony of the situation is that the gross enrollment ratio, there is a huge amount of dropouts from the students from the school level and at the higher education level. More than 50 to 60% of the dropout rate is there in this country. And that dropout rate in this country probably is because of poverty, is because of discrimination, is because of ignorance. And if the education and the institutions are able to address the poverty, the discrimination, and the other aspects which are there, I am sure we'll be able to contribute significantly to the lives of the students in our institution. Well, coming to another aspect is that the female feticide rate also has come down in our country today. Today, for every 1,000 male, there are 1,040 females. So it's really hats off to the government for bringing in lot of policies, Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, maybe all these aspects of government are contributing significantly towards the education and towards the upliftment of the girl child. At the last, I would like to state that it is the responsibility of every institution to not to indulge in discrimination, to promote all aspects of the society, to bring in inclusive education, whereby we will be able to contribute significantly towards the development of the country, the society, and the family. Thank you.